lovely friends, it's Margaret, and this is my Queen of Nothing reading diary. So I'm just popping in right at the start of this to let you know that if you are looking for spoiler-free, this is not the vlog to be watching because there are spoilers for The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing in this vlog because I read all three of them in this vlog. If you want my spoiler-free thoughts on any of the series, I will have them linked down below, as well as I will have my Queen of Nothing review linked up in the cards. Also, if you're looking for more cohesive, like, thought-out thoughts, you're not going to be getting that for Queen of Nothing in this vlog all that much, just because it's mostly just me saying Jude is stressing me out. If you want those thoughts, I will have my spoiler chat linked up top. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys get into the vlog, and then I will come back to wrap things up and give you my final thoughts. Guess what? It's time to reread The Cruel Prince. Ooh, that's putting shadows on my face. Here, we'll put it over this way. So the last book in the series comes out in November, which means I have to reread both books 1 and 2. And my best friend just got finished with this book, and she is very impatiently waiting for me to read this so she can continue on. Little does she know, I am saving her a lot of pain by not starting this right away, because you guys know how if you've read The Wicked King, you know how it ends. Yeah, so anyways, this is going to be in parts because I'm reading this now, and then I'm going to read The Wicked King, and then Queen of Nothing doesn't come out till November. Woo! So we're just going to go as I read each book. That's how it's going to work. I'm going to see if I can't convince her to, like, actually stick to a normal buddy read schedule for the next book. We'll see. It was really, really funny being mean to her and being like, ha ha ha. The next ending is worse! Right now is probably the time I should tell you that there will be spoilers in this reading diary. So there are spoilers coming because I'm going to talk to you guys about some stuff. Like, first off, Jude just lets Maddox in her house. I mean, I know she's 7 and he's a grown-ass man, but she just lets Maddox in her, like, doesn't even protest as he steps inside as a stranger, okay? There'd also be poor quality lighting. And then the other thing, she attacks him. Like, after he's killed her parents, she attacks him. He should have known right then that Jude would be trouble, because his daughter's screaming, her sister's screaming, and Jude's, like, not even scared, attacking this giant immortal fey man who is slightly green and has weird teeth. Like, listen, we stand Jude Duarte. We do. We stand this child. Anyways, Holly Black's writing is phenomenal, though. Like, this first chapter is so well paced and so descriptive. Like, let me see. Where did I put this sentence? Where'd it go? Okay, there's a sentence, like, at the very beginning. It says, it's talking about Maddox and how he just appears. He simply appeared and is stepping between one shadow and the next. Like, that is a word picture, y'all. It is. In Fairy, there are no fish sticks, no ketchup, no television. Like, that's chapter 1, y'all. She just writes so good. Like, I know what happens in this book, and I'm still reading it like I don't. Also, a world without fish sticks sounds pretty good to me because they're gross. Okay, so it's been a couple of days with this whole Cruel Prince thing, but I have made some progress, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of the things that are interesting. I've read quite a bit, and so, like, we've gotten to the part where Jude has broken into Cardan's room unknowingly. What kind of shippy nonsense is that? And it's really funny because I looked at the fact, like, she's stealing Alice in Wonderland, and I was like, it's very interesting that both of them like this story. I feel like that's going to be significant. And then I completely forgot that is how, where is it? That is how she finds, nope, not there, there we go. This. Like, I feel like it needs to come up some more just because that's kind of a cute detail that you could use. But I completely forgot that that's how she finds the note. That's such a clever thing to tell. We also got to see, in that thing, we got to see what Balekin is like, and he's awful. We've had the thing with the fairy fruit, and it's still very interesting to me, and, like, something I would like to see explored more, and I think we see it more in this, and we see it
I'm gonna keep track of it again in the Wicked King, but like so often, like Carden is trying to fight against his conscience, but then he listens to his conscience, but he's so like deft at what he's doing, he disguises it as something mean or something cruel, like he does with Jude. And it's just very interesting with me that like, despite the way that Fairy is run and them trying to beat this conscience out of him, basically, Carden still has it. He still has like what he thinks is right and wrong, and that is very, very telling, I feel, in the Wicked King. What were some of the other things I wanted to talk to y'all about? I don't remember. Oh, I just want Locke to die. I want Taryn to die too. I'm just like reading this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, you're both awful. I hate you. Oh, here's one. The thing with Valerians, this is just a my notes thing, but the thing with Valerian when he traps her on top of the tower is hilarious, because if my knife had been longer, I would have punctured his lung. And I highlighted that and then wrote underneath it, I don't know if you can see this, sounds like you need a longer knife. Yeah, you should have a longer knife. Although, like, the lungs aren't that far. How is she not puncturing his lung if she's got a knife? Like, is it that small? What else was I gonna say? I don't remember. I'm sure I will come back and have more thoughts later when I have listened. I'm like going back and forth between the audiobook and the physical book just because I want to get through this as quickly as possible, because my friend is antsy and wants to read The Wicked King. I have told her that I am saving her a sad fate. But also, it is... This is very meta, but I like the fact that Taryn brings up that the characters and stories have bad stuff happen to them because no one will be interested in reading that if like there were not struggles for them to overcome. And I was like, ooh, that's such an author thing to put in a book. So I'm back because I had a thought that I really wanted to expand on, and like I think it's so funny. This relationship is one that in so many ways would be like, no, if they were not both equally awful to each other and like so clearly antagonistic against each other from the beginning, because that's what they've been taught to be. Like they're both terrible people, okay? Don't get me wrong about that. There's really very, very little to admire about either of them as people, because they're terrible. But it's the thing that I find so fascinating about Jude and about Carden, and the reason that I'm so intrigued by their personalities and why I delve so deeply and want them to like be better than they are, is because they're both trying to survive in a world that looks at so many things that we would see as good and right and true. It looks at those things and it sees those as weakness. Like, it's not just like it's so funny because we've got the Cruel Prince, the Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing, and like Fairy values debauchery and wickedness and cruelty. Like, it sees kindness as weakness, and in Fairy, like, and this is not just this particular book, but like anytime you get into a fairy world, anything that is seen as weakness is seen as something that can be used to manipulate you, something that can be used against you. And you see that very much in Jude's perspective, where she's talking about the fact that like she's seen as weak because she's human, and because they think she's weak and they see human as being weak, and she is not as capable as the Fae against glamours and things like that, she gets taken advantage of. And it's just so very interesting to me to see how it's just interesting to me to see that, to wonder what would happen to these two if they had been grown up in a world where kindness was valued. If they had grown up in a world where they were not automatically pitted against each other because of what they are. And I think I do think we see some growth between this book and the next book. Or at least we see some growth in the next book. And I would like to see how that all kind of plays out. I'm very intrigued by this. So, and I'm intrigued by them because I want to see them. I want to see them become better people. Honestly, I want to see them be able to find some semblance of like a not awful life. We'll see if they can, but that's what I would like. Yes, hi, hello. I don't know if I ever told y'all that I have in fact finished The Cruel Prince, and yes, I'm flexing on the fact that I have the black cover now because I'm so happy that I have this edition. I love it. Hopefully I end up loving the last book, because if I don't, we gonna have issues. Oh man, look at that. It's so pretty. I can't. I was gonna look and see if the other one was just as pretty, because just look at that. Like, the detail on those tree branches stands out so much more against the black.
but it's back there. It's not down here. So anyways, I finished this. I don't really have all that much more to say about the series, about this particular book, I don't think, than I've already said in this vlog. That ending, I still love it. It is still so good, and it's just such a great place to end on, if you want your audience to completely and totally die and suffer. I mean, the next ending's worse, guys, but, so I finished this, like, a long time ago, and I haven't refreshed you guys on my thoughts. I don't know, I had to finish the audiobook before it went back to the library. So anyways, I have started The Wicked King. I've gotten to about page 11. I'm on page 11 right now on my audiobook. I'm really enjoying it. Some things that I didn't pick up because I'd forgotten because I was reading this so fast. Fairy marriages are one thing, but apparently when the king gets married, he can't undo that marriage. So, like, Carden and Jude are stuck with each other by the rules set out in this book. I'm fine. I forgot. I didn't know that little detail. But yeah, apparently royal marriages are something. And then, so I've forgotten how intense Jude is. Like, she's so much more intense in this book than she is in the other book. Like, in the first book, like, I mean, like, she's intense, but, like, in this one, it just starts out, like, right away. I mean, I guess the other one, it starts out with murder. But, like, you can tell why Jude is the way she is with the prologue of this. I'm just like, wow, no wonder Jude is a disaster. Besides having her parents murdered, she was raised by Maddox. And Maddox is, who let that man have children? That was a mistake. Huge mistake. I feel like that is just kind of the gist of everyone in fairy. Like, who let these people have children? Who let these people have children? They should not have had children. Someone else should have raised the children. They'd be so much better off and less baggage, less mental issues. Carden, poor Carden. Like, you just sit there and, like, Jude and Carden are both such products of the environment in which they were raised. And it's interesting because I don't think, like, I know Jude remembers her mom, but I don't think she really remembers all that much. Like, she remembers enough to know that how the fairies treat you is wrong. She knows enough to, like, have an idea of how your parents are supposed to treat you and how, like, what it is to have a parent who unconditionally loves you. But, like, the stuff she accepts, it's just, Anyways, where are we in this? The other thing, the fabric, I feel like that's going to come in handy. We also have seen Grimson again, and there are things, I have theories. Either Grimson was under Maddox, like he was Maddox doing, or Grimson that whole scene that happened with Grimson was, Carden had a hand in it, because, as we know, Grimson creates a crown, and who here needs a crown? I have theories, and I'm going to continue to think about them. I hate Taryn. I want her to die a burning, fiery death. I just hate her so much. She is the world's worst sibling. Anyways, so we're about to go into the scene that's at the ball. That I absolutely love that scene, because while it is something that I would never have the guts to do in public, like, Jude sticks it to him. Like, she's like, if you're gonna make fun of me, you're gonna do it. Like, I love this scene that was coming up. But I need to go jogging now, because apparently Florida is cool enough that you can jog in the afternoons again and not die. And since I didn't go jogging this morning, I guess I'll do it now. We're back to the walking vlogs, apparently. Locke doesn't know what he's getting himself into, but he said, but surely only a king can crown a queen. And, like, is that foreshadowing? I bet that's I feel like that's foreshadowing. Just personally, my personal opinion, that I'm very, very set on this whole Jude and Carden ruling Elfhame together thing. Can you tell? Anyways, I love this scene so much. And I'm getting a little ahead of where we were supposed to get, but that's okay. I told her it was fine if we get further. So, anyways, okay, I'm sorry.
But like, she's getting mad at him for this Queen of Mirth situation, but he did warn her. He was like, hey, you need to not be here. And Jude ignored him. So why is she getting mad? Hopefully this is recording because I don't know how this mic works. Anyways, I just stupid people. I can't. I do get why people say Jude is annoying, because this is annoying. It's not all Carden's fault. Most of it, yes. Not all of it.
You know, when a book is so well written, when a book is so well written that it still shocks you, what the heck is my hair doing? Oh, okay, we're gonna fix that. That's better. Just, this is your final warning, because there are spoilers in this vlog. If you have not read The Wicked King, go away. Now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're talking about a huge spoiler. Okay, so I finally got to the point in the audiobook because I took a couple days off because I don't know why, because I was weird. I just didn't feel like reading anything or something. I was trying to get caught up on BookTube. That's what was happening. What? Oh, I've got a friend on my forehead. That's great. Anyways, so I'm listening to it as I'm doing housework. We're almost at the end. Hold on. I could probably find the moment because it's probably one of these purple tabs there at the very end. Let's see. There it is! Actually, no, I think that's the second one. I think that's the second time he asks. So, anyways, we finally got into the point where... Nope, that's it. That is the first one. Okay, we finally got into the point where Carden has figured things out, and he's like, marry me, which I might remind you, he can't undo so long as he is King of Fairy. Can we just appreciate that? Like, he is... I'll have to give you, look at this, look at this. This is, hold on, I might have to remove the tab. I'm sorry. Anyways, so we're at the point where Carden asks Jude to marry him. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before, but look, this is my note. It says, hold on. Can you see it now? Without my face? Get my face out of the way. There we go. It says, living our best life. Since it won't focus, I'll just tell you what it means. Oh, and I love this. I love how Jude reacts, because she's like, I feel a kind of cold shock come over me, as though someone has told a particularly cruel joke with me as its target. As though someone looked into my heart and saw the most ridiculous, most childish desire there and used it against me. Like, it tells you so much about how she was raised and what she's grown up in. And also, like, I knew it was coming. Like, I literally were going into the conversation and I'm going, yes, this is this conversation. This is this conversation. And I'm still like, what the heck? Like, he's just so, like, doesn't lead up to it. Barely leads up to it. Just like, marry me and become Queen of Elfheim. And I'm like, what? Like, I am full on in the shock with Jude, despite knowing, despite there being foreshadowing, despite all of that. I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know what to do with this information. This is the second time I've read this. Is it going to be like this every time I read this book? Oh, Queen of Nothing is going to be just, like, magnificent. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna lose it. You think this is crazy? I'm gonna freaking lose it.
I'm sorry. I just realized that Carden is doing the exact same thing with Jude right now that Jude did at the end of Cruel Prince, where she convinced him to have this bargain for a year and a day, and then she's like, I'll just convince him sometime during that year and a day, I will convince him to pledge his obedience to me for the next several years that Carden's like, he's like, marry me, and we only have to stay married as long as I am king, and then when we put Oak on the throne, I think he's like, listen, I've got like 7 years to convince this woman to stay married to me. I just... Like, I love it. He is, like, the tables have turned so much in this book that he is doing the exact same things in this book that Jude did to him in the last book. For different reasons, but also, like, I love it. I love it so much. They're just, like, they're so well matched, and they understand each other so well. Like, obviously not well enough for Carden to freaking know that it's Taryn and not her, but I mean, in the same time, he was poisoned and all of that. So, I'm gonna give this guy a name. I should name it. Maybe I'll name it Bob. I don't know. That's what I name everything that's random. Cardin's literally like a lot can happen, and he's calling back to the original conversation, and June still hasn't. She's so dense. She is so, like, all of the signs are there that he really truly cares about her, and they've been there this whole book, and she is so like I love it. I love it. And I mean, part of it is because, like, he has to prove to her that she can trust him, and he's only just started doing that. But, like, she's trying so hard to convince herself that A, Cardin doesn't care about her, and B, she doesn't care about him, and, like, y'all just need to talk and be honest with each other. And I'm sorry, I just realized the dishwasher is going in this room, and I probably should be in a different room so it's not as loud. Oh my god, they're such idiots, though. I love them so much. This is why I like rivals to lovers and enemies to lovers, because, like, there's that part where they're starting to realize that they have feelings, but they're like, oh no, that's not happening. And, like, there's so much denial, it just makes me laugh. I find that so amusing. I would do very well in a fairy court. No, I would not. I would be dead. I would cave and be sad and miserable. Anyways.
Ooh, we need to get rid of some stuff on this. Hello, lovely friends, it's me. Guess what day it is? It's November 19th, which means I'm picking up Queen of Nothing. Last time you saw me was over a month ago, somewhere towards the end of Wicked King, which I, absolutely lost my crap over. So today is the day I am going to go pick up Queen of Nothing from the bookstore, and I am so torn because I'm doing NaNoWriMo right now because it's November. But, like, it's a 300-page book. I read about 60 pages an hour, which means, in theory, if I don't do anything else tonight, I could finish this book tonight. In theory. And so I'm sitting here kind of torn, because if I finish this book tonight, I don't have it distracting me the rest of the week, and I can hit hard on Nano and get word count and make up for the fact that I'm super behind, because I am super behind. I will link that vlog, though, over here, because I am only doing Queen of Nothing in this vlog. I'm also doing Vaultathon this week, but this is on one of my TBR picks. So if you want to see me talk about Queen of Nothing there, too, I will link the Vaultathon vlog. So anyways, I am in the car. It's after work, and it's just time for me to go get this freaking book. It's mine! It was really funny. The dude, so I was going around making sure that I actually, I'm trying to actually remember to check and make sure that, like, I get copies of books that look nice. So I was going around making sure, trying to figure out which one had the nicest spine. I finally found a section where they weren't all jacked up. Anyways, but the guy saw me, like, going back and forth between, like, they had them in 3 different places. He's like, is there anything you can, like, he's like, is there anything I can help you find? Like, I hadn't just pointed someone else. Oops, I just dented my own, it's fine, I did that. Like, I hadn't just pointed someone else to where the Marissa Meyer books were. Like, I'm sorry, I know your YA section probably better than you do. Not really. I don't. I have been in that Barnes & Noble and had people, like, asking where a book is, and the Barnes & Noble person's like, I don't know where it is, and I'm like, it's right over there, next to that. Anyways, so I am going to figure out somewhere to put this phone. Okay, I haven't looked underneath the cover yet to see what this looks like, so we're gonna do that together. Ooh.
its best life. I'm dying. It's Book Snake. I love it. Also, can we talk about the dedication? It says, to Lebar, or for Lee Bardugo, who never lets me get away with anything. I love it. I cannot wait to read this book. I'm going to cry. No, I'm not. It's not really that serious, but oh my gosh. Ooh, what's this? He will be the destruction of the crown and the ruination of the throne. Well, yeah, we already knew that part. I'm so happy. All right, so now I need to get home. I need to edit and do a whole bunch of other stuff. I want to do nothing more than sit down and read this book. It is so pretty in person. It is absolutely gorgeous in person. I just need to figure out how to get this sticker off. I've had pretty good luck so far with Barnes & Noble exclusive stickers because so far they've all come off with no problem.
Okay. So I'm obviously going to take this down and read it, but I also need space for the cover to fit in so that it looks pretty on my shelves. Look at that. Oh, look how pretty they are all together. Oh, I like how it's gold, white, and then gold. I wonder if this is going to be black, white, and then black for the white, for the original Queen of Nothing. I like that. I feel like, okay, so I'm going to rate the Barnes & Noble black editions. Hold on. Not all black covers are created equal because definitely of the three, the Wicked King is the one that really plays up the black cover best. Look at that. You've got that gold, you've got the silver, you've got the blue. They did a fantastic job with this cover. It is amazing. So 5 out of 5 stars for this cover. But unfortunately, they did not do as good a job with Cruel Prince or Queen of Nothing. I would say Cruel Prince is maybe a 3-star when it comes to, like, come on, open here. It comes to cover aesthetics, and then Queen of Nothing is like a 4-star. Like, I like this. Actually, no, wait, maybe this is a 5-star because it does, especially in person, it has that nice contrast. Like, it's not, this still looks nice. It's still like the black and the colors look good together. The fact that they have that kind of blue-white behind the gold looks good against the black. I actually think I prefer this one to the white cover as well, which is not the case with the Cruel Prince. I actually, with the Cruel Prince, prefer the white cover, even though I got this because I like having matching sets. And the biggest, I think, problem is you have these branches and you have the font, and in both cases, they're both kind of a goldy brown color. Like, this is obviously actual gold, and this is the color of trees. This needed to be silver. I know that messes up the spines, but this is not a good color against, like, it just doesn't stand out against the branches. Does that make sense? Like, if they had done a slightly different color for the text on this, I think it would stand out so much better, and it would be so much better as a cover. But because it doesn't stand out as well, I mean, just look. Look at these two. Like, that is a much more pleasing aesthetic than all of this brown that you're getting right now. So, like, listen, it's already, and then like this, I mean, I like this cover, but hold on, let's do these side by side since I've done the other one side by side. Look at that. Like, it pops. This is pretty. It's nice, but this pops. You know what I mean? Okay, I am stalling because I don't want to write or do editing of videos. I just want to read The Queen of Nothing. And unfortunately, here, let's just do this. Don't fall. Okay. Ta-da! There. That way, if I film while I am reading Queen of Nothing, where is she? Where is she? There she is. There she is. If I film while I'm reading, she'll still look pretty on the shelf. Anyways, I want to be reading this book right here, but obviously I have things that I need to get done. So rather than doing the things I need to get done, I'm just like sitting around and doing nothing. All right, y'all, we're only on page 2, and we're already getting into the real spoilers. So we're at the prophecy thing for Carden's birth, which poor baby Carden, like, even as a child, he was just not doing too well. But spoiler alert, I guess, is what this is, because I'm going to talk about this. Anyways, it's talking about
The wording is out of his spilled blood. Only out of his spilled blood can a great ruler rise, but not before what I have told you comes to pass. So obviously, he has to destroy the crown and ruin the throne. He's doing a great job at that. The great ruler that's gonna rise, derp, Jude. Hello, do we know? What do you say? But here's the thing that's interesting to me is only out of his spilled blood. Okay, so I guess the question is, when they say spilled blood, what do they mean by that? Because does it mean, like, he gets a paper cut? Does it mean he is the one that is spilling the blood? Technically, I mean, it says, but not before what I have told you has come to pass. So obviously, like, his family getting murdered in that massacre of Balkans is not going to count. But technically, a lot of the time, people, family is considered blood, your blood. So technically, like, if we kill his mom, no harm to Carden. Anyways, we will see what happens out of this. This is just, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting book. Poor Carden. I wonder how much of, like, this prophecy happened because Eldred didn't want to raise his son. Like, if Eldred had made a different choice, would this prophecy have even existed? Like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Does that make sense?
Hi, can we just say that the court prophesier, astrologer, astronomer, I don't know, agrees with me because it says Baffin was uncomfortably reminded that some prophecies are fulfilled by the very actions meant to prevent them. Hi, so I made it to page 48 last night, which is the dream. So I'm really enjoying the fact that, like, we can definitely, I said this in my other vlog, like, I'm enjoying the fact that we can definitely tell Jude has had some time to think in the mortal world. And, like, she's not, I wouldn't say she's come to terms with her feelings for Carden, but she's definitely come to accept that like, kind of they're there. Like, she's wording things differently in this than she has previously in other books. Because definitely, I think, like, Wicked King, she was still in denial, and in this one she's a little bit less in denial. Like, she understands that, like, the way she phrases it is, like, she understands that she did have feelings for Carden, and he used those to manipulate her, which I'm thinking that's not going to be the end narrative. Taryn has showed up, which is not who I wanted to see. Like, we're in the mortal world right now, and we've got some really interesting stuff going on with Grimamog. I obviously think she's kind of being set up to be, like, the opposite of Maddox, to kind of, because it obviously, I feel like this book is going to end up being Jude and her crew against Maddox and possibly Taryn. I hope Locke stays dead. I hope Taryn follows him. She showed up, and, like, literally, here, I'll show you. This is my note for where Taryn shows up. Can you see that? As you can tell, I don't really like Taryn at all. I think she has used up her chances. And then she's doing this whole sob story, like, oh, I was just doing what Dad told us. I was like, oh my gosh, seriously? Like, how did you, there is no way you went into that knowing that it wasn't going to it wasn't going to affect Jude. Like, I'm sorry, I was just following orders. It's not an excuse, Taryn. I know it's supposed to make it easier. Like, it's supposed to make it, like, easier for me to be like, oh, okay, well, no, it's not an excuse. I don't care. She's a terrible sister, and that's where we're gonna end it. So anyways, so they're coming up with this plan for Jude to impersonate Taryn, and I'm just like, the only reason Taryn impersonating Jude worked in The Wicked King is because Carden was half drugged out of his mind. Like, Jude is going to walk into that court, into that inquisition, or whatever it is that is going to happen, and, like, if she even, like, he even catches sight of her, he's going to know it's her. I don't understand, like, she does not understand how well he knows her, and how I don't care, honestly. I really don't care. I just need them in close proximity to each other and bantering again and, like, being ridiculous and stuff. I am really liking, because this kind of confirmed some of my theories, like that prologue confirmed some of my theories about Carden not liking how the Fae treat mortals.
because Jude mentions that it was really easy to get him to, Jude mentions that she was able to convince him to change how the Fae work with mortals. And I speculated that was because he's always been uncomfortable. I actually think he was sneaking some of Balkan's servants away and returning them to the mortal world. But that has not been confirmed yet. But, like, I got that vibe in Cruel Prince. I also kind of think that he looked the other way when Jude was sneaking out Sophie. And because there's no way Carden wouldn't have recognized her. I'm sorry, there isn't. But, like, we have that opening thing where he realizes that the guy that his brother's trying to goad him into, like, using as a play toy, basically, he realizes that he's glamored and he has no choice in it. And so he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. And then Dane, like, is a Dane and, like, ruins everything for Carden. But, like, that confirms that. That confirms that. And I love the fact that he didn't, like that's... I go on about in The Wicked King where he, like, sees that Jude is uncomfortable with the idea of him glamoring her and he, like, waits for her to be like, okay, go ahead and do it. But, like, knowing that that's something that was in him as a child and he hasn't quite let go of, I like that. I like seeing that. And so, anyways, I'm gonna go jogging. So we've just gotten to the point, like, we're 2 pages later than when I stopped last night. But we've just gotten to the point where Jude is dreaming about Carden saying, I love you, which means she actually wants him to say it somewhere inside her. And, like, girl, why is Holly Black torturing me? Like, so it's really funny because Wicked King was basically what I expected it to be when I started. This is not quite what I was expecting. Granted, or quite what I wanted. Like, it's good. It's just, like, granted, what I wanted was, like, a 300-page fanfic of Jude and Carden, like, working through their trauma together and dealing with your feelings. But we haven't I'm sure we'll get to that part, but we haven't gotten there yet. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna go back to reading now because things just happened. I love how she is currently referring to him as High King Carden in her thoughts, as though that makes a difference with how she feels. Jude is such a disaster. Oh, if she was honest with herself, things would be so much easier. I mean, if she was honest with herself, the Wicked King would not have happened the way it happened. But this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe she said that to his face. To his face. She literally just told Carden she wants him dead as Taryn. She also told Carden she loved him, which that is as Taryn. So, to his face. Carden is an idiot because he can't tell it's Jude. He's such a freaking idiot. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I'm dying. This is amazing. This is better than I hoped. Oh yeah, he knows it's her. He knows it's her. And I just realized why I'm not getting more recording time as I'm deleting things. And it's because I need to go empty the trash bin on my phone. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. But he knows. He freaking knows. Page 64, y'all. I'm dying. 64 and 65. Oh, this is going to murder me. This was not a good book to read before bed. How am I supposed to calm down? I'm gonna have to do so much meditation when this is done to get back to sleepy mode. I should have taken a melatonin. Okay, I get that the missing half finger, the missing tip of her finger is a deal. But, like, why is she not worried about the freaking scar she has through her hand? Like, I feel like that's going to be something that Carden is going to notice more than the missing finger. Jude is trying me right now. We're, like, 2 seconds later. She's just, like... She jumps to the most ridiculous scenario, which, granted, so do I sometimes, but, like... Jude, honey, take a chill pill. Sorry, that's right in your faces. I'm sorry. Calm down. Like... watch Locke not really be dead, and this is all an elaborate plan to get Jude in as Taryn, so no one will know that it's Jude. Because clearly the only person that is not going to be fooled by this is, Carden, possibly. I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe he is being fooled at this point because she looks like Jude and he doesn't want to think about it. Maybe he's in denial of his feelings. I don't know. Carden's an idiot. Like, I know he had to exile Jude to avoid war, but like, it's fine.
This just got worse. Matic is going to ruin everything, as he usually does. I feel like this is just going to be me being stressed for the entire book, guys.
The real question here is, how does Carden think everything is okay? Like, they haven't talked for months, and they're both such idiots, but like, he's just acting like everything is fine, and she wants to murder him, and it's great. He is alone in the room with an angry woman and a knife, and he doesn't even know it. He's such a freaking idiot. I love them so much. They're so stupid. Sorry, I'm really close. How can two people be having the exact same conversation and yet not understand what's happening? Like, what? How? Like, Jude, I can kind of get being like, wait, what? But Carden? Like, he's just now figuring out that she's like, you gonna kill me. He's just now. He has not listened to a word she said. So close, and yet so far. Freaking Matic ruins everything. Anyways. I love that her first reaction, though, is to be like, hey, he's gonna try and kill you. Don't move. So I'm really tempted because this particular version has Carden's letters in the back. And I kind of want to go read them. But I feel like that's going to spoil parts of the plot. So I'm not going to go read them. But I really want to. Okay.
So, it's the next morning, and I woke up, so I can't sleep. I have to get up soon anyways, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna read. I cannot believe that Carden has out-dumbassed Jude. He has, in fact, out-dumbassed Jude. I can't. Like, how do you do that? Boys do really stupid things when they're in love. And if he gets caught, I would not blame Jude if she murdered him. Like right now? Totally justified. She's doing all of this, like, scheming and trying to get people out of this camp, and he is the world's biggest dumbass. Listen, there is no way I thought Carden was going to be this much of an idiot, but at the same time, I'm going to appreciate it. Such a dumb butt, though. I did not realize there was such a thing as a dumbass Slytherin until I started reading this book, and I realized that both Jude and Carden are peak dumbass Slytherin energy. That is the way it is. They are the dumbest Slytherins out there. Now, of course, I'm sitting there going, does every Hogwarts house have a peak dumbass their house energy? Because, I mean, obviously dumbass energy is just like the entire Gryffindor house. Like, they seem normal until they jump off a building because it seems like the best plan.
Jude did not realize she could have pardoned herself. Like, I mean, she thought about it, but she chose against it until Cardan was like, yeah, you could have. Peak. Dumbass. Slytherin. She is clever, but she is not smart.
So we're on page 217, and this bit on the cover makes sense now. Well, that's about... I did not see that coming. Also, there's a fan art that makes a lot of sense now. I did not see that. I mean, like, I did see it coming, but I did not see it being that. Like, I knew the minute he takes the crown and is, like, breaking it. I'm like, oh my god, Cardan, you're an idiot. This is not going to work out well for you. But, it could be worse. It could be worse.
I know Jude says that she's not meant to be a ruler, but she definitely has the knowledge and skill set to be a not dead ruler, which is, you know, kind of the same thing.
I knew it. I knew he was sneaking people out. I knew it. Everything I have ever thought about Cardan Greenbrier is being proved true in this book, and it is the most validating experience, and I'm slightly worried by it because what if bad things are coming? Anyways, it's fine. I'm not freaking out at all. I am freaking out. I'm completely losing my mind. Anyways, why is Cardan the way he is? Please put the cloak on, Cardan. Just, please. She is literally giving him the high points of their relationship and when things started to change for her. And, like, this book was literally written for me because I am just eating it up. It's amazing. I'm so happy, you guys. I finished it. I'll update you guys in the morning with, like, final thoughts, I guess, but I finished it.
Okay, so I've taken the books down, which means it must be time to wrap this up. If you're wondering, this is a 5-star series. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I loved every single moment of this series. It was so good. So, final thoughts on all of the books. I really like how she sets everything up in Cruel Prince. Everything that happens in Queen of Nothing, it starts here. Like, we see the beginnings, we see the seeds of it in this. I think that was so well done how she planted all of the seeds. And then as far as Wicked King goes, I really love that Wicked King doesn't really, I don't feel it suffers from middle book syndrome. Everything that happens is building towards the end of this book, and everything that, which then leads into the next book. So I really just appreciated the things, I appreciated the character growth that we got to see in Jude and Cardan. I love the kind of downward spiral that Jude takes in this book. I think that's really part of what makes Queen of Nothing very, very satisfying. And then finally, we have Queen of Nothing, which I absolutely adored. This was, I didn't know I wanted this book. Like, I knew I wanted it, but the book that I got, it was not the book I knew I wanted. And yet, I loved it so much. I thought she brought everything together really well. I know a lot of people complain that it's a little bit shorter, but I feel like she did such a good job of world building with the first 2 books that she really didn't need to do much. Because everything, like the what's the word? The plot lines. Everything had already been laid down in the first 2 books. It was just a matter of bringing everything together and bringing people in. And I loved it. I also really, appreciated the fact that on this, when I finally got to this book, I really realized that, Matic is the real antagonist of the series. It's not Cardan. Cardan is kind of a red herring. You think going in, the Cruel Prince is going to be the antagonist, and yet, in the end, he's not. In the end, it is Jude versus Matic, and it is Jude versus her fear of vulnerability. And I just really appreciated that. I think, I cannot wait to reread these. I'm probably going to do that sometime in January. So watch out for that, I guess. I don't know that I will be doing a dedicated reading vlog for that time, but I just, yeah. More cohesive thoughts linked up in the card if you want me to, hear me going crazy about all of my favorite moments in this book, but I just love this series, and it makes me happy, and they're so pretty. Look at them. I love them so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading diary, go ahead and hit that thumbs up so I know that I need to make more videos like this. Also, if you are new to my channel and you like videos about books and writing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!